الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد, these words بإذن الله تعالى that we will take, something that we take every year generally around this time, and they are the words of سماحة والد شيخ رئيس العام لإدارة البحوث العلمية والإفتاء والدعوة والإرشاد, and that is Sheikh al-Islam Abu Uwais bin Baz. And it was printed in the Mujalla al-Iqaf, and it's Fadail Shahr Ramadan. It's Fadail Shahr Ramadan. And it's not that we would talk about anything else at a time like this, in a place like this, in a circumstance like this. We must talk about the Fadail, the virtues of Ramadan, the beauty of Ramadan, the blessing of Ramadan. So this was Abdul Aziz bin Baz, rahimahullah rahmatul wasi'ah. This was his legacy. This was his legacy. At this munasabah, at this particular time, every year, he would talk about Ramadan and get the people ready for Ramadan, push the people towards Ramadan, get them energetic towards Ramadan, make them think about Ramadan. And this is something all of us should do in our houses and with our families. In our houses and with our families, we should be talking about Ramadan, discussing Ramadan with our wife or wives, discussing Ramadan with our children, dealing with the issue of Ramadan. For there's so much in this society that can make one forget the month of Ramadan, the symbols of Ramadan, the pillars of Ramadan, the importance of Ramadan. So we take it from what the Sheikh says. He says, from Abdul Aziz bin Abdullah bin Baz, to whoever sees it from the Muslims. In other words, whoever from the Muslims sees this waraqah, whoever from the Muslims sees this paper, وَفَّقَنِي اللَّهُ وَإِيَّاهُمْ, may Allah bless, give us the tawfiq and give you لِإِكْتِنَامِ الْخَيْرَاتِ, to achieve the good. وَجَعَلَنِي وَإِيَّاهُمْ مِنَ الْمُسَارِعِينَ إِلَى الْأَعْمَالِ الصَّالِحَاتِ. Ameen. And make us of those who rush to do good deeds. Ameen. Shaykh bin Baz says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Amma ba'd. O you Muslims. And this says, he used to give a pre-Ramadan talk, and he used to give a talk in Ramadan. Both of these will benefit us, so it doesn't really matter. That we will be in this great month Azim. That's what's coming. Shahrun Azim, a great month. Shahru Ramadan, the month of Ramadan. Shahru Siyam, listen to the names. Shahru Ramadan, the month of Ramadan. Shahru Siyam, the month of fasting. Shahru Qiyam, the month of standing in prayer. Shahru Tilawatul Quran, the month of reciting the Quran. Sheikh says, Shahru Idq wal Ghufran, the month where people will be saved and rescued from the hellfire. The month where people will be saved and rescued from the hellfire. the month of Ghufran, forgiveness. Forgiveness. Shahru Sadaqat, the month of giving sadaqah, brother. Wal Ihsan, in doing good. Shahr, a month. Tuftah fihi abwab al-jannat, opens up the doors of the paradise, the gates of the paradise. وَتَضَاعَفْ فِيهِ حَسَنَاتٍ, and the good deeds are increased. And evil deeds are minimized. Evil deeds are minimized. Shahrul Tijabah fihi du'at, the month that your du'as will be answered. The month that your invocation will be answered. وَتَرْفَعَ darajat, and your levels will be lifted. You may be on one certain level, and because of the Shahr Ramadan, the blessing of Shahr Ramadan, you'll be raised up. Your good deeds will be raised up, and you will be raised up, and you will be raised up on high levels. Tarfa darajat. Tughfir fihi sayyat, the sins will be forgiven. The sins will be forgiven. Shahru yujawwid Allah fihi, the month that Allah Ta'ala is generous in. The month that Allah Ta'ala is generous in. Ala ibadihi bi anwa'il karamat, upon His servants with all types of honors and ease. Allah Ta'ala is generous in this month. And He rewards the awliya bil atayat, He gives them. Allah Ta'ala gives the righteous servants. He gives them. Shahr ja'ala siyamahu ahad arkan al-Islam, the month that Allah made fasting it one of the pillars of Islam. To fast the month of Ramadan is one of the what? The pillars of Islam. And I don't know, we were told we may have non-Muslims here. And if this is such, then this is good, so that they can know something about this month. That this is a month that we probably will talk about more, in which an individual goes from dawn to sunset. Dawn to sunset, without eating, drinking, or having sexual relations. Doing this for the sake of his Creator. Doing this for the sake of his Lord. This is the month of Ramadan that the Muslims practice. This is the month of Ramadan that is part of the legacy of the Muslims and the way of the Muslims. We have some non-Muslims who practice it and who aren't even Muslims. This is not the way to do it. If you want that your deed be accepted, deeds be accepted by the Creator of the heavens and the earth, you must enter the fold of Islam. Allah says in the Quran, enter Islam totally. Enter Islam totally. So can't take part of Islam and say, well, I'm going to fast, and I'm going to be Muslim on this tip. Well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to pray. No, you have to do all of Islam. And once you understand that Islam is the truth, and everything else besides Islam is false, and that you were created like everyone else in this room to worship the Creator, and not associate any partners with Him, then this matter will become very simple to you to understand. فَصَامَ Mustafa. Mustafa alayhi salam fasted this month. Prophet alayhi salam, Mustafa. One of the names of the Prophet Muhammad is Mustafa. Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wasallam fasts this month. Sama'a Mustafa. Mustafa fasts this month. وَأَمَرَ النَّاسِ بِصِيَامِهِ. And he ordered the people to fast it. وَأَخْبَرَ. And he informed us that the one who fasted إيمانا, have iman, واحتسابا, seeking the reward of Allah. See, when you fast, you have to have that there. Brother, that has to be present. Has to be present. Iman, that Allah legislated this. واحتسابا, that one will be rewarded. One will be called account for this. He who fasted imanan wa ihtisaban, ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbi. Understand that. It will be forgiven for him what he has committed before of sins. If we don't get anything out of this particular lecture today, get that. Don't understand anything, understand that man sama Ramadan, he who fasts Ramadan, imanan wa ihtisaban, believing in the legislation of it, that Allah legislated it, and that Allah will reward them or call them account for it. غُفِرَ لَهُ مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِنْ ذَنْبِهِ. He will be forgiven for the previous sins he committed. Who amongst us in this room don't need that? You messed up all year. You need that. Slipped, tripped, fell into things we shouldn't have fell into, became neglectful regarding Allah Ta'ala. Why? Yes, we're in need of that. وَمَنْ قَامَهُ, he who stands up and prays it. Yani prays Qiyam al-Layl, the night prayer. Imanan, with iman once again. وَاحْتِسَابًا, seeking Allah's reward once again. غُفِرَ لَهُ مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِنْ ذَنْبِهِ. He will be forgiven for him what proceeded from him from sins. It will be forgiven for him what proceeded from him of sins. So don't take Qiyam as a lightweight thing. Oh, that's only Sunnah. Yeah, Sheikh Muqbil said that. Sheikh Muqbil said it's Sunnah and you can pray it at home. But even so, if you pray it at home, you're praying it. Establish it. Establish it at the house. And if you can't establish it at the house, if you can't establish it at the masjid, establish it at the house, like that. But establish it because there is a great fa'idah, a great benefit to it. And that is that the sin will be forgiven. The sins will be forgiven. This is a month, brothers and sisters, that there's a night in it better than 1,000 nights. Yes, better than 1,000 nights. Sheikh says, "Man harama khayraha," he who is forbidden from the goodness of this night, faqad harama, he has been forbidden. Can you imagine someone who misses Laylatul Qadr? No, so neglectful, so negligent, so unaware, so unconcerned. that he misses Laylatul Qadr. So he says, based upon this, he has been forbidden a great good. He has been forbidden a great good. So he said, glorify it. عظموه بالنية الصالحة, with a good intention. والاجتهاد, and striving. And this he's talking about the month, of course, the whole month of Ramadan. Striving in guarding your fast and establishing your qiyam. Establishing your qiyam. ومسابقة, rushing, racing, إلى خيرات, to good. Musabaqa in this month, brothers. It's a race. You're vying for the Jannah. This might sound very mild the way that we're putting this out. But we hope that it touches the hearts of those who are aware and who have some understanding. This is of the utmost importance. Musabaqa, strive, brother. Race, brother. The brother. Be on the move in this month in doing good deeds. Be on the move in this month like you've never been on the move before. Musabaqa ila khairat wa mubadira, rushing ila tawbat al-nusuh, rushing to a sincere tawbah. Rushing, musabaqa, ila khairat, to that which is good. And what else? Mubadara, rushing, ila tawbat al-nasuh, to a sincere tawbah. Min jami' al-dhunub, sayyat, from all sins and disobediences. You want to cleanse all of that. He didn't say some dhunub. He said jami' dhunub. Wajtahadu, and strive. And this is something we don't do in Ramadan. In Ramadan we may feed someone. In Ramadan we may pray beside a brother. Make tarawih. Ramadan we may give a brother a date to drink. But where is at-tanasih baynakum? Advising between you. Shaykh bin Baz put this as one of the manners of Ramadan. اجتهدوا في تناحس بينكم. Strive in advising one another. In advising one another. وَتَعَاوُنْ, help one another. عَلَى البِّرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى, upon fearing Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, upon having birr, righteousness. This is to be constantly throughout the year, but it's particularly that which should happen in Ramadan. وَتَوَاصِي بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, or as he says, وَتَوَاصِي بِالْعَمْلِ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, advise one another to order what is good. وَنَاحِي عَنَ مُنْكَرٍ, to and forbid what is bad. وَالدَّعْوَةِ إِلَى كُلِّ خَيْرٍ, and that you call to every good. That you call to every good. Why? Sheikh says, لِتَفُوزُوا بِالْكَرَامَةِ so that you will achieve honor, wal ajr adhim, and great reward. See, these are the ma'ali umur. These are high matters. These aren't the petty matters. These are the high matters. These are the serious matters that brings one close to Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala and places one in good standing with Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Now siyam, that tissue. Oh, no, I have some. La. Hi. Now, siyam has many benefits. First benefit, tathir al-nafs, cleansing the self. Tathir al-nafs, cleansing the self. وَتَحْذِيبِهَا تَحْذِيبِهَا يعني organizing it, وَتَزْكِيَتُهَا, purifying it. From what? What are you going to try to clean your nafs from? مِنْ أَخْلَاقَ السَّيِّئَةِ, from evil akhlaq, evil moral manners and behavior. وَصِفَاتِ الذَّمِيمَةِ, nasty character. فَالْأَشْرَ وَالْبَطَرُ وَالْبَخَلُ, like stinginess and selfishness and the like. You take that and you transfer it. The Shaykh says, تَعْوِيدَهَا أَخْلَاقَ كَرِيمًا, until you get generous, noble characteristics. كَالصَّبْرِ, like patience. وَالْحِلْمِ, forbearance. وَالْحِلْمِ, I said that. You must have said it twice. وَالْجَوْدِ, generosity or jud. وَالْكَرَمِ, which is quite similar to generosity. وَالْمُجَاهَدَةِ, striving. مُجَاهَدَ النَّفْسِ, striving with the self. فِيمَا يَرْضَى اللَّهِ, in a matter which pleases Allah. وَيُقَرَّبْ إِلَيْهِ, and brings you close to Allah. You're going to strive with yourself and make yourself strive in those matters which please Allah, and bring you close to Allah. From the benefits of fasting is that it shows the servant the need that he has within himself. Hajatuhu, that he has a need in himself. وَضَعْفُهُ, his weakness. وَفَقْرُهُ, his poorness. His weakness, his poorness, his need. For who? لِرَبِّهِ, for his Lord. لِرَبِّهِ. And therefore he will remember Allah. Oh yes. With the greatest blessings of Allah. And he will remember also, since he is in need, that his brothers are in need. And his brothers are fuqara. And that Allah has blessed them with nourishment. And that this brings about shukr lillah, thanking Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. Thanking Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. Then he will realize the blessing of Allah upon him. And the ni'mah of Allah, the blessing of Allah upon him, blessing him with obedience. Then he will take care of his brothers. because of their poorness, because of their need. وَالْإِحْسَانِ إِلَيْهِمْ, He will do good to them. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala has pointed to this benefit when He said, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمْ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ. O you believe, fasting has been written upon you just as it was written upon those before you. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you may have taqwa. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains is that He wrote fasting upon the people so that the people will achieve taqwa. Somebody said, why we gotta fast, man? Why we gotta fast? What's the reason? Your son might ask. Your daughter might ask. Why we gotta fast? We gotta go without food and drink. Littaqwa. Littaqwa. So He wrote fasting upon us to cleanse us. So it means that fasting is a means to taqwa. And what is taqwa? Taqwa is like this. Ta'at Allah, obedience to Allah, wa Rasuluh, His messenger, by doing what you have been ordered and leaving what you have been forbidden, while having sincerity to Allah. And continues, wa muhabbah, and love, wa raghbah, desire for Allah, rahbah, fear of Allah Ta'ala. With this, the servant has fear of Allah from the punishment of Allah Ta'ala and His wrath. So fasting is a great branch of the branches of taqwa. And it's a great qurbah. It's a great qurbah, closeness to Allah Azza wa Jal. Wasila qawiyya ila taqwa, strong way to taqwa, Bin Baz says. And it's a way of achieving taqwa in all other areas of dunya and deen. The Prophet ﷺ pointed to this and to some of the benefits of fasting when he said, O young men, he who amongst you who are able to fast, then do so. Or who amongst you who are able to marry, then do so. And who is not able, then lower his gaze, or fast, lower his gaze, for regard his private parts. I'll read it again. It's right before me. Ya ma'ashar al-shabab man istata'a minkum al-ba'a. O you youth, he amongst you who has the ability, falyatazawwaj, to marry. For it is that which will lower the gaze, marriage, and will guard the private parts. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ, and he was not able, فَعَلَيْهِ بِالصَّوْمِ, and upon that person is to fast. فَإِنَّهُ وَجَعَ, because it has a means of preventing him from falling to that which is forbidden. It weakens the desire. It weakens the desire. So the Prophet ﷺ explained that fasting is a protection, or rather you can say that which weakens one's desires. So he said that a song is a means of weakening the fasting person's desire. وَوَسِيلَةٌ means لِتَحَارَتِهِ, to purify him. وَعَفَافِهِ, making him chaste, or chaste, or her chaste, him or her chaste. He said, and that's only because the area for which the blood passes through is made tight through fasting. Fasting makes this tight. Because the person remembers Allah Ta'ala, And this makes the believer stronger in his ibadat. And it makes it harder for the believer to commit ma'asi, to commit sins. Also from the benefits of fasting, I won't keep you long, is that it purifies the badan, the body, from bad bacteria. And it achieves for the body sihha, health and strength. And he said many of the doctors have recognized this fact. And many forms of illnesses are dealt with in this manner, that they inform you or advise you to fast. So he said, Allah Ta'ala informs that He has obligated fasting upon us, as He obligated that which was on before us. And this fast is the month of Ramadan. The Prophet ﷺ informed us that it's one of the pillars of Islam, khams, 5 pillars of Islam. This is something that your children should know. A lot of times the children don't know. You ask them what are the 5 pillars of Islam, and they can't tell you. So this time in this month of Ramadan is a time to renew that and revive that. So Allah says, "O you believe, كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون." Fasting has been written upon you, as has been written upon those before you, so that you may achieve taqwa. أيام معدودات, number of days. And until Allah revealed شهر رمضان الذي ينزل فيه قرآن, the month of Ramadan, which the month of Ramadan, which the Quran was revealed. Hudan lin-nas, is a guidance for the people. وَبَيِّنَاتٍ مِنَ الْهُدَى, and explanations of the guidance. وَالْفُرْقَانِ, and an explanation. فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمْ شَهْرًا فَلْيَصُمْهُ, he who witnessed you for you the month and fasted. وَمَنْ كَانَ مَرِيدًا وَعَلَى سَفَرًا فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخْرَى, and he who's sick or on journey in other days. يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمْ يُسْرًا وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمْ الْعُسْرَ, Allah wants for you ease, He doesn't want for you hardship. وَلَتُكْمِلُوا عِدَّتَهُ, so that you complete the number. وَتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ, and to glorify Allah on the fact that He has guided you. وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, and so that you may be grateful. And the hadith of Ibn Umar, which everyone in this room must know. Everyone must know this hadith. Ibn Umar's hadith, Bunya Islam al-Khams. Islam has been built upon 5. Shahadatu an la ilaha illallah, by witness and has the right to be worshipped except Allah. Wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, and that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Wa an iqam as-salah, to establish the zakat. وإيتاء الزكاة, to give the zakat. وصوم رمضان وحج البيت, and to fast for Ramadan and make hajj to the Bayt. Everyone should know that hadith, the hadith of Ibn Umar, that Islam is built upon 5. So I will end with this statement of the Shaykh. Know Muslims that fasting is a great righteous action, and it has a great reward, particularly fasting Ramadan, because Allah Ta'ala has made it obligatory upon the servants. He has made it the means of great foes. It has been related in the Hadith Sahih that all of the actions of Adam are 10 for him. 10 in relationship to him. إلا 700 daf, up to 700, except fasting. فإنه لي وأنا أجزي به. For verily it's me, and I reward for it. Because he has left his desire and his food and his drink for my sake. And for the fasting person, 2 times of happiness. One when he breaks his fast, and one when he meets his Lord, tabaraka wa ta'ala. And of course the breath of the fasting person is like musk with Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. This is some of the narrations regarding Ramadan. Also Ramadan, when Ramadan comes, the Jannah is open and the hellfire is closed and the shayateen are enchained. Brothers and sisters, this is a fursa. Brothers and sisters, this is an opportunity. Brothers and sisters, don't miss it. Don't sleep on it. Don't be neglectful of it. Don't let shaitan trick you. Don't let the matters of the dunya trick you. Don't let those things take you away from it that are of no importance whatsoever. For Allah Tabarak Ta'ala has set the Jannah up and as if called to us that we're for it and it's for us. But all we have to do is strive and make an effort, locking the shayateen up, closing or shutting the doors of hellfire, opening doors of paradise, giving us extra help, benefit. I know I have not expressed it in the best way, and I maybe have not relayed to you that which you probably want to hear, but I think this is enough, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, to get you running, and get you together, get you doing what you're supposed to be doing for this blessed month of Ramadan. Father, sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad.